Hi, Sean. Hi, Nikola. Nice to see you. Sean, first off, look, obviously, you're in the next stage of the competition already, and getting into the playoffs is technically still possible.
Yeah, a long shot, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So how do you approach this game?
Well, like every other, we want to win it because obviously you look at the way the draw works, and then we get a home game, second game, which is classed as being favourable. So we want to win it, but we want to win it because we want to win games and keep that kind of feeling, attached to the league programme, which we've done well in the last three with 2 draws and a win. 2 wins and a draw, I should say. So you don't want to keep that feel going.
How is the squad looking? Because obviously we just found out about John Victor as well. Can you just kind of confirm his injury and how long he's out for?
Yeah, he's going to be out for a while. An unfortunate one. People who saw it at Villa, and we weren't sure how serious it was. Ended up being serious enough to keep him out for a while. So we'll have to wait on that one. And Sav as well. Savona, he's got a knee situation we're having looked at as well. We don't think it's too serious at this time, but we've got to check it out. So he's unlikely, I think, to be figuring.
Does that mean you're still going to be looking at the market in those positions at the defence?
Yeah, I've said to you all along, the club are a trading club. We know that, and they always make it clear to me that we're looking at options in varying positions. But fair to say, fullback's one of them with the left back situation as much as anything. But yeah, I mean, we're looking at various options. It's not just that position, and you've all seen the news. So we're just trying to be proactive to strengthen where we can and when we can.
Yeah, obviously, we know the reports and the interest in Jean-Philippe Matata as well. You've already signed a striker last week. You've got 2 strikers who scored at the weekend, and Chris Wood. That's a lot of players potentially.
You love them strikers. Don't you, big man? We like them strikers, don't we? No, look, you want good players at your club, and we have got them. And if we can add strength to it, I said, a couple of months ago or a month ago when it's building up, the club's made it clear they'll support me, they'll support the team, they'll support the club, and I think the owner's made that clear all along, and he's willing to do that, but it still has to be the right people, and we still have to get the right situation, the right fees agreed and contracts agreed and all that. So it's never done until it's actually done. So there's a couple of situations we're waiting on news, but if we can get good players in, we will do, and the owner's made that clear to me.
Nikola, nice to see you. I'm just wondering, obviously, with the season Nottingham Forest have had, but the last couple of weeks, especially in the Premier League, have been far more positive. I'm just wondering how much of a boost that's been to the team.
It's very important. We performing very well in last period, and now it's important to keep this momentum, to keep improving well, to be constantly in performance. And tomorrow is chance for us to continue in this and keep improving ourselves and keep boosting our moral and our confidence.
When you signed for the club, you talked about the ambition of the club and how much it wants to develop and grow. I'm just wondering then, therefore, how important this Europa League campaign is for the club, obviously, not just because it's European history with the club, but also the fact it would potentially guarantee European football next year as well.
It's very important, this club is ambitious. We have really big ambitions. For me, it's always go game by game and let's see how far we can go. We don't put limits in the front of us. We just going game by game, step by step, and let's see how far we can go. We want to enjoy every single game in this competition with our fans because after 30 years, it is really pleasure to be here and playing in the front of our fans in Europe. So let's enjoy and let's see how far we can go.
Thank you both.
Thank you. Owen for the BBC, please.
Hiya, Nikola. The last game in this competition in Braga was a disappointment. Because of that, how important is it to get a result for the team, for everybody, the fans too?
It's always important to get results. Every game what you play in the football, you play for the win, to play for the make happy your fans. In Braga, we didn't play maybe the best game what we won, but now this is the past. We need to focus on next game, what is tomorrow. In football, it's always the most important next game, so we focus on tomorrow to give out the best, to try to make positive results and to finish highest possible on the table.
Sean, this is your 7th game this month. How are you coping with the demands of all of those matches?
Demands of doing this, I think, these press conferences, so many of them to do. But no, it's for the right reasons. I've said all along, and the club made it clear they wanted to get into Europe. We are. And juggling it has been, it's tough, but that's part of it. Trying to get the right team at the right time and a fresh team for the league programme as well as the cup. And it has its challenges. But I think so far, apart from the one at Braga, when we came off our performance levels, because the other games where we made changes, the team have done very well over in Utrecht and Malmo, particularly at home, and Porto, of course, were very good, but that was my first game, so you expect a bit of that kind of feeling. So overall, I'm not disappointed in it. It's just that one game in Braga when we were a long way off where we want to be. And that's a reminder, you have to be on it in all competitions. I suppose adversely to that situation, the league program's picked up, considerably with 2 wins and a draw, and the away wins as well, which are always hard to come by, and a very important draw against the top side in Arsenal. So, we want to keep that flow, if you like, keep the momentum in every game that we play. So we're certainly putting out a side that we want to win. That's certainly our mindset, without a doubt.
Ferencváros unbeaten in this competition this season. How much of a threat are they, do you think?
Well, we'll see. I mean, they've had a slightly up and down period in the league programme, but they've shown they're a strong side in this competition, quite obviously. And Robbie did a great job at Maccabi, and he's doing a good job there. And I know one of his staff members, Stephen Glass, as well, I played with at Watford, so it'd be good to see him. And, good people working hard for their team and their club, as we are here. So we certainly think we're capable, but we've got to be right on the night, that's for sure.
Thank you, both of you.
Thank you very much. Open to the floor, please. Any questions?
Sure. He took the words right out of your mouth. That's what you got.
I was going to say, Nikola, obviously, Forest have signed Lorenzo Luca. I wonder what he's been like in training for the first few days. What's it been like being up against him?
Yeah, it's a really big guy. I played also against him in Italy, 5 games. So, yeah, it's a really good player, big guy. So we expect a lot from him, but also from all our strikers who has really good quality. So we are happy now with them.
Sean, could I ask you something similar? What have you made of Lorenzo in the first?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. But I've been surprised. The kind of suggestion his English wasn't good, but it is. He's very good on that, which helps, of course. As Nikola was saying, big fella. But he can move. From what we've seen so far, he moves well. We've seen obviously the clips from before he came here, but since he's been in the building, he looks fit and well, and he looks like he wants to do well, which is always part of it. The demand on himself, and I think he wants to make a mark here.
Can I ask about Chris Wood as well? Any news on his progress?
Just steady progress. The repair in the knee has gone well, and it's just a steady progress now. So it's just week by week and making sure that it goes in the right direction. But it certainly is so far.
I just wondered if the interest that the club seems to have in other strikers means that he's a bit further away than you might have thought.
No, it's nothing to do with his injury. No, just focusing on his injury, that's all. No, he's a very good player. He's made that clear to everyone here, for sure.
Thank you.
Nikola, obviously you reached the final twice with Fiorentina. Looking at those results, you got stronger as the tournament went on. Do you think that's something that's quite inevitable when you're in Europe for the first time, like Forest are?
I didn't understand, sir.
Do you think the performances get better over the tournament as you get further into it?
Yeah, how you progress in the Europe, how we come knockout phase, you don't have a chance to fail. So games will be tougher and tougher. Opponents will be with more quality. So we'll be prepared. So like I said, first focus on this game tomorrow, what is most important, and then we'll see who we draw and be prepared for the next game, what we will expect in the future.
And how much more important is that potential home advantage in that second leg? Winning tomorrow and securing it?
Is big advantage for me, what I think, because in Europe playing at home it's a big advantage. So like I said, we need to play to give our best tomorrow on the pitch to finish highest possible on the table, because in this stage in the Europe it's everything important.
You played for Ferencváros twice, in one of the seasons, didn't you?
Yes,
A couple of years ago. What sort of team were you then?
Ferencváros have a European experience. They have a really good team. So, like I said, always respect for all. Be prepared for a game tomorrow and give our best.
And Sean, on the rotation, are you sort of learning more about how you use the players the more games you play?
I don't think it's about learning. I think it's just about the delivery on the day, And like I said, apart from, excuse me, at Braga, I think the squad, if you like, the squad mentality has been very, very good. The clarity of performance has been very good. That one just got away. It was flat. It wasn't awful. It was just so flat. There wasn't that edge to it. And I've spoken about that a lot because it's so important. And it doesn't seem a lot, but if everyone hasn't got it and it just sort of gets a bit flat, it's hard to produce performances that can win games. But the other games we've done very well in. So I'm hoping that whatever change we make, the team still find that unity to go and perform, which we have done so far. So, but it is important because we want to do well in this competition. I've never hidden away from that. And alongside that, we want to do well in the Premier League, and they're two big competitions in different ways. But the Premier League is what the club worked so hard to get back in. So that still edges it for me because that's really important to this football club. But the European side, because of the old stories and the glamour and the glory of it, of course that's important, and especially to the fans as well.
Well, that was going to be the next question. Obviously, Sunday's a huge game. I know it's one game at a time. But is that in your mind at all about how you
Well, every game's a huge game lately, for different reasons. Yeah. Well, like I say, we've been down that road a few times lately, but the Brentford game was different for different reasons. Then we got the West Ham game, and it's all important. I mean, like I said to you before, the things I've learned over my years in the Premier League, I would expect you to go to Anfield and win 3-0, but we did. Well, it's still 3 points. Wherever you get them, it's still 3 points. So our mentality's got to be firm, whatever game we're going into. And I think we're showing signs of that. I think there's still more to come, but I think the group's connectivity is growing all the time, and their mentality is growing all the time.
Any final question for Nikola before he departs?
Yeah, just against Brentford and Arsenal, your team resolved the issue of conceding set pieces. How important will that be for the remainder of the season? And is that something you've been focusing on in training at all?
Set pieces.
Go on, Gaffer. Answer that. What's your thought?
Today in the football, set pieces and corner kick is a really important thing. What you prepare during the week, like we prepared all the time. So it's now being a big part of every game. For me, corner kicks, set pieces decided today in the football a lot of games. So yeah, we defended well, and we need to keep defending like we did until now, because it's so important to be solid, to don't concede a lot of goals, and to give opportunity to team to win also with scoring one goal.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Nicola, you've had the back four similar to last season now in the Premier League at least. How helpful has that been, having it on the back and having the four of you together again? And Matt's, of course.
Yes, it's important. Like I said, we need to be constantly to keep the performing well, not just back four and Mats. Like I said, all team to keep this constantly of performing well, and we have a lot of players, quality at the back. So we need to just keep improving and doing best what we can.
Thank you very much. Nicola, thank you.
Cheers, big man. Top man.
Okay, we'll continue.
Are there any other team news, Sean? Any other housekeeping or the only injuries you've got? Sav and
Yeah, they're the main ones. Yeah, it's a kind of situation we've got to get on top of more than anything. So we'll be seeing a specialist today, more as a secondary check to make sure it is what we think it is, and it could be days, it could be weeks. We're going to find out over the next 24 hours, hopefully.
It looks like Douglas Luiz is very close to a move away from the club. What are your views on what he's contributed during his time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's quite done, but I think it's more or less getting done. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a different one for me because, we came here and he was here and he'd been injured, or got injured, recovered from that. And he agreed to be sort of rushed back a little bit. And I think he was a bit frustrated with his true fitness and form. But we know what a good player he is. There's no two ways about that. And he's got an opportunity, and, we felt it was right. He felt it was right. And so if it does get finalised, then it's kind of a win-win in that respect.